Hey, what's up everybody? This is Superbrick501 and today I want to show you guys a glitch that very easily allows you to choose God rolled gear pieces, and the only thing you have to do is start the game in offline mode, go to a vendor, and essentially just choose what gear pieces you want. It will require some resources, but for getting God rolled pieces and choosing the stats you want, essentially, it's not that expensive at all. Now, I did go over a video about a glitch, and this is essentially the same thing that allows you to choose artifacts to get the God rolled artifacts, and I want to do a separate video going over the gear pieces because there are a lot more gear pieces. More specifically with the two faction vendors, there are some more specific perks that come from those, so I wanted to go over some nuances with that. So the glitch, essentially you start the game in offline mode, so if you're on Steam, go offline mode. If you're on consoles, just start in offline mode or disconnect from the internet. Start the game while offline, and then you can set your date, be it through whatever console you're on or on PC, and changing the date either way one day will change every piece on the vendor. And there are 4 vendors that all have 4 rows of 4 pieces, so that's a lot of different gear pieces. 2 of the vendors have some specific faction perks on their gear. The other 2 just have any general perk you can get, and the vendor will go off whatever power level you have for that specific character. So as you can see here for Black Widow, my gear piece is at 43, but my Iron Man is 130, so we'll go off your power, and they can be up to legendaries. So you can very easily get 5-star legendary pieces to just buy them outright. I don't think the actual quality of the item 2 to 5 stars is actually going to change the amount it costs. So just go through and get the perfect rolls you want, and you can just change a date and constantly go through so you get a perfect piece. Now, some of the nuances with this is both factions have some specific gear perks on them, and for whatever reason they can both have each other's gear perks, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not certain about the shield one, but I know for this Inhuman faction vendor you can have the gear perk that has a chance to activate a shield payload on the target, and then have a chance to activate a PIM payload on the target. Now I want to go over these because it's a pretty good chance you're not going to want these. The PIM payload seems to not work. I was testing it. It does shoot the beam at the target. It's a little missile that goes to the target, but it doesn't do anything I could see in any form. Maybe it's some debuff that it's not showing. There's nothing I could essentially find that actually does anything. The symbol is the plasma particle. I'm not certain if this is supposed to do something with that, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. The shield payload is pretty good. It actually, when it hits a target, it suspends them in air and CCs them for like 5+ seconds or something like that. It's pretty ridiculous for CC, and there's even pieces that allow you to do this off melee or range crits. So I could see once we get harder difficulty in the game, say the raids that are coming up, that if it's really hard and you're in a group that wants more CC, that we might see some people, say, going on Iron Man and having range crits have a chance to activate a shield payload on the target to then just hit as many small ranged attacks on enemies as you can and constantly CC a bunch of enemies. So that could be pretty good, but the PIM payload, no idea what it does, doesn't seem to do anything. If you don't want these perks, do not be looking at the faction specific vendors because a lot of the gear pieces will actually have those perks on them. If you want to do this much faster and get the best gear piece you can possibly get without wasting more time, go to one of the other vendors. So I think this is the same guy in both outposts. So you go to him. He won't have those faction specific gear perks on them, but he will have pretty much any other general gear perks you can have while just getting any gear pieces. Now, neither of these vendors can have the specific named gear pieces that you get from, say, like elite vaults or elite hives, stuff like that. They can't have those named pieces, but a lot of the best gear isn't those named pieces. It is the more general random rolled pieces that have random stats and random gear perks on them. As you can see here, we have this piece here, this piece here. If we just change the dates, like I said, it will be all completely different gear pieces. So now it's completely different gear pieces and it seems to be random. And see right here, we have a, say, decent rolled gear piece for Iron Man. It's legendary, it's 4 stars. You can get any perks on them, any stats. Say you don't like the rolls on any of the gear pieces here, you can just change a date super easily. Not certain if it's as easy on consoles, I don't think it is. pieces. Then you have 16 more gear pieces to choose from. Again, these won't all be for the person you're currently on. It's still pretty easy to do. Then you can get some better rolled gear pieces. And like I said, as you see here, this is a legendary 5-star rolled gear piece. If you were going might and resilience, which is actually pretty good stats for if you're going a melee build because you need to be more tanky, this could be a god rolled gear piece for you. Then you could just buy it. All of the resources are pretty much specifically based on what rarity it is. So legendary is 5 upgrade modules, 681 cost. You have rare, which is much cheaper. So it's pretty much fully based on just the rarity of the item and not based on the quality. And that's all you do. You can just go through here and choose whatever gear pieces you want. So that's all I want to go over today. Subscribe if you want to see more Marvel's Avengers videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this glitch. And thanks for watching.
Something caught your eye? You'll be back. This. I know. I have many a trinket for sale. And so it was destined for you to spend nothing. Nothing then. So it must be. Thrifty, eh? I suppose that fits you well.
I'm over here if you need me. What can I do you for? Better luck next time, huh? Yep. Oh. Nothing then? Okay. I'll work harder to have something you'll want next time.